There's a plane. Of course. Of course, right now when I just started recording. I'm actually used to making some kind of video recordings in terms of keeping them as diary. Um, it's just this one I'm possibly intending to post somewhere. Maybe. Maybe. Maybe because it's a big thing. And it's not an easy step to make. As somebody whose entire personality used to be worrying about how others see me, and now I would just throw a piece of, a chunk of who I am, to be torn apart or appreciated. Either way, I can't control it. I best I can do is just make it real, and hope that it sticks. So I'm doing it because I have to. I would highlight that part. It's not a matter of experiment. Well, it's experimenting with the form, but as for the message itself and the activity on its own, then I have to share. It's a need. It's a desire. Sure, it used to be more of a desire. Now it's carnal almost. I have to. The other day I was talking to my friend from Czechia, and we have this thing called accountability checks. Oh, it's a weekly ish call that we do with one another in order to keep ourselves accountable with the endeavors that we have going on, and it usually diverts from something strictly situational, or like a task, in like a task manner. Have you done this? Yes, no. If yes, great, what next? If no, why not? Let's change this, maybe this. For me it sounds like you're doing this wrong. Maybe you could explore doing it the other way, something like that. That happens, but usually after 2-ish hours of talking about the things that are happening in our lives and how that makes us feel. I study correctional pedagogy, so I do have a. I live near the airport. You might hear it. So I do have a background in psychology. I just don't have as much of a secure paycheck as them. At least that's the running joke that I say. And as for her, she is mastering in psychology, so she's about to get it finished. So proper, proper professional in the field. So it's almost natural. Not even almost. It's natural for us to dig deep about the topics that happen, and that the surface level symptoms are exactly just surface level, and something's happening on the deeper layers that signifies or shows up as those symptoms. And when we did it last week, I don't really remember exactly how, but the conversation diverted itself into something we've actually already talked about, which is a situation of, if I had a dime for every time me and Baro, the friend, talked about what we would die for, I would have $2. If I had a dollar, that's the joke. If I had a dollar for every time me and Baro talked about what we would die for, I would have $2. Which isn't a lot, but it is weird that it happened twice. But it is an important conversation to have. And in our case, she doesn't have it yet figured out. Me, I can tell that there's a lot of things that I would die for. Debatable as for why. As in, is there any part within it that's straight up disrespectful towards, from me, towards me, about how much I value my own life, or would I, how much I consider it would be of added value if I were just to throw it into a cause. I was always very fond of the idea of dying on the barricades, um, for the sake of for the sake of the picture. There's this, back in my, not even history too, but even in like the humanities, workbooks and students books back in high school, and even I think even middle school, whenever we would talk about the French Revolution period, the picture that would be pretty much always added to it is that picture of France personified as a woman with her titty out and the flag. Do you know that one? Because that's some, there's something about that. And I suppose for a long time I was looking for something to die for, just because I wanted to die for something. There was this one meme of from The Simpsons. I mean, it was like a quote of Homer talking to Marge, and and he was going, "I would kill for you," and Marge was like, "Yeah, please don't." And Homer's like, "Please let me kill for you." So that's kind of the same situation, possibly to be explored by yours truly. But point being, one thing that I know is that, dying for things aside, I do think that, mm, that I wouldn't be afraid to die now. As in, of course, there would be a great sense of loss within me about everything that I haven't done, I haven't had the time to do, all of the endeavors that I will never get to see finish, all of the people that I will never get to meet, and all of the relationships that I'll never get to explore. Absolutely. But at the same time, if right now I were to get a diagnosis of cancer, or if I were to get hit by a car, not today, I'm not planning on going out, but tomorrow, if I had the time to think about wrapping up my life and not just die instantly, then I would think to myself that it's okay, that I died in the process. And with that being said, I don't have anything to hold against myself. As in, God, I wish I had done this, and that. If only I hadn't been so scared. You know? Sure, there's still things on my horizon that I haven't taken up as endeavors, and I would love to do that. But at the same time, I do not know how to multiply myself or my time. So I'm doing the best I can. And with that, I would die in, I suppose, somewhat peace. Hunger, yes, but there's only so much I can do. And considering how, sometimes on my path I meet people with a different pace of life, and I notice that maybe I'm the crazy one actually for doing things so fucking fast and in such an abundance and in such a variety that it's already a lot what I do. So maybe I should take it easy on myself. So they say. Or so they say, but at the same time, they are never the kind of people that I would ask advice for. I would ask advice for. Ask for advice. That I would never ask for advice. that I would never, I'm trying to see if I fucked this up linguistically, that I would never turn to to get advice from. That's one way to get around it. Just add more words. And that's the problem, that I really do feel alone in what I do, because there's just flashes of action in my life now. There's a lot of potentiality just blossoming from random points, and I'm doing my best to juggle all of the balls and to turn all of the plates at the same time. But then I find myself. There was this one stand up by Ricky Gervais, comparing jerking off men at the same time with spinning plates. And it's kind of like that. I'm running in between. And just when one dick is starting to get soft, I have to run to get to the other because it's already flaccid, you know? Uh, I'm more of a spinning plates person. I'm not gonna get into my relationship with dick now. Point being, metaphorical dick that I'm trying to sustain in my life in terms of the activities that I do is just wearing me out sometimes from all the fucking running. Uh, and yesterday I had a call with somebody really important to me who I don't know how to call yet because we didn't get to have that conversation yet. I'm just gonna meaningfully look at the camera about that one. Modernity. And I asked her, who is she? Because I think as I'm definitely, oh, what the fuck is happening outside? I'm definitely in the camp of people who deeply believe that language creates reality and words create reality. So the way that you describe yourself is crucial. It shows about what you think of yourself, and therefore through that how you manifest your reality. Because if you start the sentence uh, of an answer to the question of who are you by saying, I'm a nobody, congratulations on manifesting just that. um it's the same thing with a name. I think I remember from the first time this kind of discourse was brought awake within me was actually in middle school, in like health education or our local equivalent to that. And the the lady that was our teacher, not the best person. I remember her putting up some really weird movies about homosexuality and about how much of a disgusting sin it is. But she did start off on a good note with asking us for our names and highlighting the part that we should introduce ourselves in a way that we actually want to be referred as. So if you say your name and then say a nickname, but the nickname is just something that got put onto you like a label or some kind of fucking sticker, then it's a good opportunity to scratch it off, or to just put a question mark on it. Because usually the answers I remember people were giving, and the answers that, funny enough, I still get to this day when I ask people for their name in that kind of manner is, my name is XYZ. My nicknames are A, B, and C. But you can call me whatever. What do you mean? You can call me whatever. What does that mean? Absolutely not. I'm not going to call you whatever. You're disrespecting yourself and now inviting me to it. No, no. With that being said, so the same thing is like my name is XYZ, preferred, and I am what exactly? What is the title? How would you summarize yourself? For the past 3 years, I've been comfortable calling myself a student of what I study, which is correctional pedagogy, because it does reflect a lot of who I am. I'm not a person that studies for the sake of it. I'm very passionate about what I study. But I'm gonna lose that title soon because, well, soon. I actually have a lot of obstacles in terms of finishing my studies because of some choices that I've made that I would make again, gladly. But at a certain point, I won't be a student of correctional pedagogy anymore. But I won't exactly be a correctional pedagogue either until I go into that kind of work, which I'm not sure of. I'm passionate about it, but not in the conventional structures that are within the field. I definitely am far from going to prison, at least outside of the bars. Um, Especially since it takes a lot longer to have the right qualifications. Point being, um, what will I call myself? And the way that I call myself when answering, of course, my friend answered me. She said she's a traveler. I can respect that. Although I would explore the point of traveling, because traveling for the sake of traveling seems a little suspicious to me. But um, the way I called myself was a performer and a roadside therapist. And I think that's pretty correct. It is descriptive of what I do. It's perfectly vague about the performance type because that's exactly how I do performances. To me, a performance is anything from something structured that I will be paid for and a whole lot, which is something that's coming up on my horizon. From that, all the way to my daily basis of going outside, looking peculiar enough to call it performance art on wheels, pretty much, or on heels in my case. But that's not exactly who I want to be. And going back to the part of my conversation with my Czech friend Baru about the dying, I thought to myself that I would regret only one thing, truly, and that is the fact that I didn't share my story enough. Now, Baru thinks that a good adjective to put to my name is storyteller. It's a point of pride for me to be called like that externally. I would like to follow up on that within me, and that's why we're here, actually, because genuinely, I do think that all the things that I've been through and all of the things that I intend to put into my life and all of the approaches that I've explored and my my way of being is to be shared. It's a value uh, to put out there. And I will see. I mean, I have been talking for about 20 minutes now, straight, and I haven't truly gotten into what's actually happening in my life, even. Um, but I suppose it will come up. because the hardest part was to start. For the past week, I've been struggling to get out of myself an idea of what to start with. And today I woke up with the thought of, well, not last night after that call with my is the title that I would give her. Uh, I I went to sleep with the thought of I'm just gonna pay attention to something that I would yap about throughout the day, and then I'm gonna record myself yapping about it because it's not like I don't do it. I am passionate about talking to myself whenever I can, and I like it, but I do feel like it's missing somebody to receive it. Because if there's nobody to receive it, then I just go crazy a little bit. I'm not gonna lie. It's like what I communicated it just bounces off the walls and comes back to me. It amplifies itself to the point where it has nothing to do with reality. It has to be externally verified. And I value what people put into that so much, and they rarely do because they're scared of me. So I've been told sometimes. That's another topic that I'll be happy to explore and what that does to me. So, yeah, the first one is about how much I need this. Another friend of mine who is a street performer and director of festivals with decades of experience has recently recounted the quote to me of find something that essentially, this is a paraphrase, find something that you love doing and fucking do it. And in this case, I love this. I do this anyway. But also, I need this to breathe. Actually, I think this is one of those things. I have passions. Don't get me wrong. I need to move. I love dancing. Singing has been a part of my life since forever, but I'm too scared to do it. Uh, I like acting actually. I do like the modeling that I do, even though it's on a small scale. I love styling, as you can tell. Uh, Maybe. And there's just those passions of mine. But if I were to like scan through every single thing that I care for, then I wouldn't be able to point a finger at something and say I wouldn't be able to live without that, other than what I'm doing exactly right now, because it feels right. So I'm gonna post this. I don't exactly know where, and I don't exactly know when, because maybe not even today. But this is gonna go up somewhere at some point. I'm gonna try to find a niche. And a whole nother topic is the fact that I was actually a significant part of my youth. I spent being raised, and with a pedagogical background, I know what I'm talking about here. Raised by the internet, specifically by on YouTube, and even more specifically by PewDiePie. So I have a major sentiment towards that. I know that internet nowadays is not exactly human anymore. It's become a caricature of itself and some kind of monster. So I'll try to find a way to humanize it. I suppose. I'm just gonna maybe I'll just go back to the roots and do it raw. Start a blog, revive MySpace. Never had it. I never had it. Although I should have because I was emo for a time. That's it for now. I need. I'm here because I needed this, and I invite you to be a part of it because only then does it make sense. So thank you already if you got here. And I welcome to ask any question. It would actually be a great honor to see this as an opportunity for an actual back and forth. I will rant into thin air also, just because of how much I need this. But it would make me the happiest to see that there's kind of some kind of responsiveness to this. And I'd be happy to explore any topic. I know the courtesy of asking or of asking a question that could potentially be exploring difficult things and then following up immediately with, but you don't have to answer if it's too much or if it's a difficult topic or whatnot. Let me clear it up. I'm an open book. You just need to ask the question. In my case, I have no breaks. Should that be the case, I don't really care. I know that I enjoy the fact that I don't really have any limitations in terms of showing myself. Partially because I do feel like that's meaning in life. Just not just mine, that of others as well, actually. There's nothing else for us here in this world during our life, during our time here to do, other than to be ourselves as extremely as possible. Why? Because there's nobody else that will do it. There's a U shaped hole in reality that your duty is to fulfill. And therefore, it is an honor to be asked about how I fill my hole. And on that beautiful note, I'm gonna leave you for now. And I'll see what other pressure is gonna build up at my throat so that I record another one. It's been a pleasure for those past 28 minutes. Thank you. Until the next one.